You know, a man can get pretty hot walking around on a summer's day, especially if that man has a couple of extra pounds on him and wears a lot of flannel. Well, here's a way to keep cool without having to wear sissy clothes. Get yourself a worm picker's pail, attach it to one foot. Then what you need is a gas siphon hose like this one. You run the hose down inside the pail, up one pant leg, across and down the other one, and you attach the pump of the siphon under your foot like that so that every time you take a step, you're squeezing it. Now all you have to do is fill up the worm pail with ice water. And the more you walk, the cooler you feel.
Boy, that water's cold.
Appreciate it, boy. Everybody's pretty excited up the lodge. We're having a lunar eclipse in a couple of days. Around here, that only happens about every 35 years. A little more often if there's a tire fire. But, I want all the guys to get together and go up to Rock Reef Point and watch it from up there, just like we did 35 years ago.
Well, that's a firm go, Red. We're all set.
Oh, yeah? Did you clear that with Anne-Marie?
Oh, I don't have to clear it with Anne-Marie. If I say I'm going, I'm going.
Anne-Marie's at her mother's this week.
I see. Well, you know, you gotta be there, I'll tell you. Only happens every 35 years. Junior's going, Buster's going, Moose is going. Old man Sedgwick says no, he's already been to the last three.
Stinky Peterson going?
Well, probably. You know, it's hard to keep the stink man away from a party. That's gonna be great. It'll be fine. And you know something else? The eclipse doesn't happen until midnight, so I'm thinking, why don't we just camp overnight, just like we did 35 years back, huh?
Oh, geez, that was a long time ago. We were all back in high school then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in French immersion reform school.
Wow, did you learn any French there?
Oh, yeah. Bonjour. Qu'est-ce que c'est le combination? That means, good day. Who can open the safe?
Boy, I remember the bunch of us there that night. Yeah. Pretty wet behind the ears, huh?
Boy, once the rain started, we were pretty wet behind everything.
Yeah.
Well, that was a while back, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, boy, we sure didn't know much about life back then, huh?
No,
Certainly didn't understand women.
Well, then it couldn't have been that long ago.
No.
Today's winner will get to spend a whole day as the town mascot. Okay, cover your ears, Ed. Mr. Gwynn, you got 30 seconds to get Ed to say this word. Nervous. Nervous.
Yeah, all right, Mike.
And go!
Okay, Ed, how are you feeling?
Very relaxed, Red, thanks.
Okay, but when you're not relaxed, you're...
Easy prey?
Okay. You know, when most people get on television like this in front of a huge audience, you know, they feel very... Ed? Ed?
Oh, what?
All right, just calm down.
Oh, yeah.
What do you call it when you get a dry mouth and you break out in a cold sweat?
A work day.
We're almost out of time, Mr. Green.
Yeah, all right. Okay, Ed, supposing you're up a ladder trying to get a raccoon off somebody's roof and it turns and snarls at you, okay? That makes you...
Wet my pants.
Okay. But what does it do to the guy holding the ladder?
Well, it makes him pretty nervous, I'll tell you.
You know, life goes in cycles. One thing ends, another begins. I'm going through one of those right now. This here is my new Possum van. I'm excited about that. But it also means the end of my old Possum van, which makes me kind of sad. But you know, with every older vehicle, there comes a time when you know it's over. I won't bore you with the details. Let's just say that this time she's not playing possum. But you know, after everything we've been through together, can't just throw her out like one of Donald Trump's girlfriends. So as a last gesture of friendship and service, I'm gonna turn my old possum van into an airboat. Like one of those they have in Florida that kind of whip through the Everglades. They don't actually go in the water, they kind of gloss over it. And glossing over things has always been my preferred lifestyle. Now, ordinarily, having your vehicle flipped upside down can be a setback, but not in this case. All you do is trace the shape of an airboat on the outside of your van, and then cut away the part you don't need. Oh, no, wait. On an airboat, the motor is at the back. Snag there. I had to turn the engine upside down so that it was right side up, because when it was right side up, it was upside down. Of course, I had to find a way to get the engine to fit onto the motor mounts from the other side, but luckily I have a universal adapter for that. When I get rid of the rad altogether, I'll just extend these hoses. We can suck water right out of the lake. Okay, now the reason I had to get the rad out of there, I want to make room for a bigger fan blade, and I know just the thing. Oh, I could have sworn I saw one of something. Oh, yeah. Here it is. Now, for a little final touch on her there, I've recycled my van doors as rudders. Got them hooked up to the steering wheel. I know on the real airboats they put a cage around the fan blade, but I figure as long as you never go back there, you should be fine. So remember, women don't find you handsome. They should at least find you handy. Remember when you were young and used to see old Ben out on the street just standing there staring at stuff? And now you find yourself doing it? Hey, don't worry. Staring at stuff is a natural thing that happens to middle-aged guys. And I'm not talking about stuff that everybody else looks at, like cyclones and house fires and topless women. I'm talking about those holes they cut in those board fences around the construction site so you can look in there. The only guys looking in there are middle-aged guys. For some reason, women have no time to stick their head through a sheet of plywood to watch bulldozers push dirt into a pit. But I'll tell you, I'm there every chance I get. And when I look over at the other holes, I see other guys just like me, with the same blank look and the same open schedule. You don't have to feel bad. You don't have to feel embarrassed. At our age, we know we've already hurt ourselves enough. Now it's time to watch others. So don't feel bad if you suddenly realize you've been standing there watching guys from the city fire tree branches through a wood chipper for an hour and a half. Just smile, count your blessings, and count your fingers. Remember, I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together. Now we're pretty much ready for our all-nighter up at Rock Reef Point to watch the lunar eclipse. We've had pretty good response. Although some of the guys are afraid it's going to make them go blind, but they've agreed to watch until they need glasses.
Where do you want all this stuff?
What is it?
What's all the stuff we need for the lunar eclipse? It's got the food and beverages, blankets, pillows, and a change underwear.
It's not that scary, though. Like, the eclipse will last about a minute and a half.
Sounds like my love life.
Yeah, including the 35-year wait. Just put that down wherever you want. There. Yeah, okay, no, that's good. I'll tell you what, we can put it in the van when the time comes, huh?
Yeah. You know, I got a little surprise for everybody later on.
Yeah, does it involve the police?
Why, what have you heard?
Nothing.
Then no.
All right, fine.
Well, you know, Winston said he was going to bring the video camera, capture the lunar eclipse for posterity.
Okay, well, that'll be great. That'll be good. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
You know, the eclipse is about 10 after 12. What happens? When did you guys want to go up there?
Well, I'd say about 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, what about 10 o'clock? Might be heavy traffic.
Yeah. Don't want to get caught in Rock Reef Point rush hour, I'll tell you. Yeah.
Well, what time should we go, huh?
Well, 8:30, 9 o'clock, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, let's go now!
Hey.
Welcome to that portion of the show where we feature the three little words men find so hard to say. I don't know. And this week's letter goes as follows. Dear experts, I'm hoping you can help me with my sin. Oh. No, sorry, that says help me with my son.
Might be the same thing.
He doesn't do anything around the house, he's failing at school, and he has the manners of a fig.
That's probably manners of a pig, Dalton.
No, it says fig.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah. He's no sense of responsibility and no work ethic. My wife says it's just a phase he's going through, but I'm losing hope now that he's 37. Any suggestions? Boy, it sounds like the type of guy my daughter goes out with.
Well, if he's got the manners of a fig, that could turn into a pretty heavy date.
This is nothing to joke about. Here we got a guy who's 37 years old and has never worked a day in his life. You gotta respect that.
Hey. This guy is a dud.
Think of the willpower to resist the pressure society puts on you to conform and get a job. You know how strong you have to be to sit at that dinner table with your parents for 37 years without buckling. That's not how I spell dud, Red.
Let's not be too harsh now. Maybe the guy's just a late bloomer.
Oh, no. He's not blooming. He's planted too deep.
No, I'm going to have to agree with Red on this one, you know. I mean, I think he should get a job and be as miserable as the rest of us.
And make his parents watch him suffer? How can you do that to him?
I'd get over it.
Oh, look, we got to find some kind of agreement here. We can't leave this viewer hanging.
Well, all right. Dwight, what'll it take for you to agree with me?
$5.
Okay, done. There you go, Dalton.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll give him the $5.
What?
It's the Possum Lake drive-in, but Dalton had an idea to use it during the day. He could switch over to a golf driving range. Got the same kind of a setup there with the elevated tee, and just one. It's $5, and apparently you get a full bucket of balls and a club for the $5. Just hand that over. Hey. All right. Well, then Mike was behind me too. We're gonna hit a few balls out, and Mike just had the one as well, and maybe I guess the lower vehicle he didn't see another problem getting that. And there, now you go out to where when you'd pull in to watch the movie, and they have the stand for the speaker there. Well, you can hang your bucket of balls right on that, And then, but Dalton knows Mike a little too well, and he's thinking maybe one didn't completely cover the entire turnout that Mike had presented to Dalton earlier at the booth. And this is just one of those embarrassing. It's an embarrassing moment in life when it's quite a gang in there actually. So you got 300 yards, 200. This is all marked on the screen, and the bottom one is arms like a girl. If you can't hit it any farther than that, where you hit on the screen is how far it is. And so, of course, Dalton's got to give us a million instructions. We don't need the instruction. We understand, Dalton. We hit the ball, and we know it lands there. Get out of the way. We'd like to hit some. Dalton, life is too short. Boys, tee him up, tee him up, tee him up. Okay, all right, we're ready to hit now, Dalton. Excuse us, excuse us, excuse us, excuse us. Yeah. Why don't you go back to the booth? There you go, there you go. All right, now we can get down to some serious... Hold it, guys, hold it. Some kids. Hang on. Some kids using the playground. Let's just wait. Oh, Dalton. We see Dalton. We see them. Dalton. Boys, tee him up. Yeah, way you go, man. All right, way you go. Okay, there goes the kids. We can get back to golf and enjoy ourselves. But of course, by now... Dalton, oh, yeah, that's it. Okay, we gotta leave. Oh, yeah, it's our fault. Everything's our fault. Oh, yeah. Oh, jeez. Okay, boys, you know what I say? When he's gonna close them up here like this, you know what I'm thinking? Tee him up, boys. Tee him up. Good shot. What is there? Good shot. Thank you very much, Dalton. You have a rainbow day. Gave me a cell phone for Christmas. I wasn't that excited because to me a cell phone is just an electronic leash. But this one has a switch on it where you can turn off the ringer and the unit will vibrate when you're getting a call. Now coincidentally, I had pulled a muscle in the small of my back trying to do up my belt after a buffet dinner. So what I do is I just tape the cell phone right over the sore spot. Hey? Now all I have to do is call myself and... Oh, that feels awful. Oh! And as long as I don't answer it, the call is free. Starting to get some crazy ideas there. It was the roaring 20s. The century had just come out of its teens, but wasn't ready to have children and settle down just yet. People were trying all kind of nut bar stunts just to get attention. They were riding on the high wire and walking on airplane wings, swallowing goldfish. Around here, we had our own guy, Possum Lodge's own daredevil, Walt Gorovich.
My father would scare us silly telling us stories about some of Walt's goofier stunts. Apparently, Walt would gather a bunch of boys into the kitchen to watch him stand in front of a hot stove and fry a pound of bacon with no shirt on. He was one of the first guys to find out that bacon was bad for you.
Yeah, his stunts kept getting weirder. He used to swallow stuff. Golf balls, door handles, every once in a while a small appliance. And then there was this abandoned steam engine outside of Port Asbestos. So one day, Walt says to my father, "I'm gonna eat that train."
Walt's plan to ingest an entire steam engine was a threat to some people. Now, my great uncle, he was living in one of the boxcars at the time, and he was afraid that Walt was going to eat him out of house and home. One day he saw Walt tapping on the train, real nervous like. So my uncle asked Walt, "What's he doing?" And Walt says he's looking for a soft spot.
Walt was crazy to try to eat that train. I had an uncle who tried to do stuff like that, but nothing that big. Oh, he'd eaten a small bicycle or two and a Buick convertible. But when Walt bit into that train, his teeth exploded like a balloon full of chiclets. Every one of his teeth had to be filled. It broke his spirit, you know, it really did. His daredevil days were over. Yeah, maybe at a party he'd chew on a ball of aluminum foil, but that was about it.
When Walt Gorovich was lying on his deathbed, a group of people came in and told him that they had declared steam engines obsolete. He closed his eyes and he smiled, and he said what thankfully were his last words. "Never bite off more than you can chew." Now that was a night. So 20 of us showed up at Rock Reef Point to watch the Lunar Eclipse. Just a bunch of aimless guys with no alternatives, just like old times.
I don't ever want to do that again.
How did that go so wrong so fast?
Well, you were part of the problem bringing that motor home.
Well, I was just trying to make the guys more comfortable.
Well, I know, but once they saw that, they didn't want to go back out to watch the eclipse.
Well, Winston hooked up his video camera to the TV so we could all watch from inside.
Oh, yeah, that lasted 3 minutes. Everybody starts yelling, what else is on?
Well, we put on the baseball game and then everyone got tired and went to bed.
The bad news is it was only 10:30.
We had to get up early because I had to get the motorhome back before the dealership opened.
I was only trying to recapture a moment from our youth, and the whole thing was a disaster.
You can't go back, Red.
Oh, yeah, I think you can.
No, the Conservation Authority was quite clear. We can't go back.
Gee, I'm sorry, Mr. Green. I'm sorry I missed the lunar eclipse.
Well, it's all right. When Moose Thompson dropped his pants, that was enough moon to last me a lifetime.
Meeting time.
Yeah, you go ahead, guys. I'll be right down. If my wife is watching, I'll be coming straight home after the meeting, and I think I learned that you can't go backwards. You need to go forward, and when I come home tonight, I'm hoping to go forward, unless you think that's too forward, in which case you go into backward with your lights on and beep twice. Okay. And to the rest of you, thanks for watching. On behalf of myself and the whole gang up here at Possum Lodge, keep your stick on the ice.
Have a seat. There we go. Okay, everybody sitting.
Sit down.
All rise.
Quando, Omni, Flunkus, Moritati.
Sit down. All right, men, bow your heads for the man's prayer. I'm a man, but I can change if I have to, I guess. All right, guys, now I'm sorry that we all missed the lunar eclipse last night, but apparently Winston taped the whole deal on his video camera, and he's going to play that tape back for us right now. Go ahead, Winston.
Is that a lunar eclipse?
No, I believe that's a lens cap eclipse.